the end of the day, the biggest storyline is Devon Levi. I mean,
Yeah.
he's been unbelievable. He's right now he's got a 918 save percentage, a 2.17 goals against. He's 18-6 and 2. I
Back-to-back
mean,
shutouts right now.
yeah, he is he's on a different level. I mean, his AHL numbers, I don't know who posted it, are like directly comparable to Ryan Miller right now. Like he's just been unbelievable. And he had that funny well, not a funny interview, but a cool interview after the one game. He was like, "We love you, Rochester." Like you could just tell he's enjoying himself down there, and he's confident. Like it's just, I don't know. It's gonna be tough to not have him be your starting goalie at some time with how good he's playing right now.
Yeah, it's a conversation that's taken a back seat last season, obviously because Luukkonen was just he was on another level. But even this year, because Levi has not been good in limited NHL stints over the course of the past 2 years. But man, I just feel like this still comes to a head. I just still feel like someday, whether it's next year, the year after, or in the final year of Luukkonen's deal, I just feel like they're going to choose this kid over him someday, and this is going to be their guy. And like, I feel like, his trajectory, the up and down, like what we've seen, it's like, and it's funny because they are so similarly archetypes, it's basically the same exact height and the same exact path between the AHL and the NHL. You look at what Dustin Wolf was doing this year. Guy, if Calgary makes the playoffs, I think he wins the Calder. I mean, he's 19, 11, and 3, a 912 save percentage. He's been amazing. And I just can't help but feel like if you're the Sabres, you just look at that and you'd be like, all right, like that's what's in store for Devon Levi because Dustin Wolf, his first full season in the AHL, a 924. The next season, a 932. And then last year, he had a 922. Just out of this world AHL stats. But in between those periods, okay, he played one game in 2022-23 for the Flames. One goal against, 958 save percentage. But last year, they gave him like a really extended stint. Or not really extended, but he played 17 games. He went 7-7-1. He had an 893. Not good NHL stats. But then this year, they give him the keys. As we said, 19, 11, and 3, 2.63 goals against average, 912 save percentage. And he's leading like that team. They've had good stories on that team. Some young guys step up. Matt Coronado comes to mind. Connor Zary when he was healthy. But it's Wolf. Wolf is the backbone of that team. And you can't help but like see that and be like, well, as much as Levi has struggled in the AHL or in the NHL, and as much as he's looked overmatched and maybe is still overcommittal and is still hasn't caught up to NHL shooting talent yet, you just feel like he's gonna figure it out at some point, or you have to feel like they feel that way.
I mean, he has 5 shutouts this year in 26 games. So in 20% of his games, he has a shutout. It's unbelievable. I mean, what he is doing down there with, a young team too down there. Like they have a bunch of rookies. We mentioned 3 of them. Like we're not some defensive, powerhouse down there.
Ah,
Like,
I mean, well, I would say no, they're not a powerhouse, but it's been good this year. Like that's been the good story too. I mean, you know, Clegg, Metsa, Johnson. I mean, Novikov. I mean, I feel like I say I'm not like a big plus minus guy every time I bring him up, but dude he's second in the league and a plus 23 right now. Like I don't like if the Sabres season falls through again. Like I don't want to be surprised if he got a few games here and there. Their defense has been good. I just that's what I want to say. But obviously Levi is, it's not to take away from him as well.
yeah, it's just he's been standing on his head. He's been awesome. I mean, it's it's crazy to see how good he plays down there, and then he just struggles against NHL competition. But it's gonna translate. Like there's I can't see any possibility where it doesn't translate at some point.
And you brought up that comparison of Ryan Miller. I mean, he didn't start for the Sabres full time until he was 25 years old. His first stint with the Sabres in 2002, 2003, in 15 games, he went 6-8-1, a 902 save percentage. So, like, okay stats, but that was dead puck era, so 902, like, it's not that impressive. The next season, he only got 3 games in total and had a 795. And then the lockout year happened, and then coming out of the lockout, he was their starting goalie. So it's goalies are weird, goalies are voodoo. But you just look at what Levi's done. You look at his resume. He's just been so damn good. It just you wonder when it is finally gonna click, and if they can ever get that Swayman Allmark duo out of Luukkonen and Levi. You know, Levi talked about earlier in the season how like he didn't understand what it was like to be a backup goalie because Northeastern he was starting every game, even back to backs, and when he got to the Sabres, he was their starting goalie through the stretch run of that season. They tried to give him the keys as a starter the next year, it didn't work, but then he got sent down to the AHL, was their starter, and then this season. Once again, they tried that duo with Luukkonen and Levi, but Luukkonen was the starter, and Levi was the guy that had to come in on long rests, second half of back-to-backs, and he basically admitted like he wasn't ready for that. Like he didn't know how to like keep himself engaged, and he just didn't know how to properly prepare himself. So maybe next time he's ready for that. Maybe next season he comes in and finds a way to better prepare himself for that role because he probably no matter what he probably starts out in that role. It's still Luukkonen's crease until somebody takes it from him.